Kansas City Royals. How about the ugly? Well, the Kansas City Royals. Cards win next on WB11. Some extra rest for Matt Morrison tonight. He'll make his club-high 14th start of the season, his second career start against the Royals. We're at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, interleague play 2002, and the Cardinals will play Game 2 of this three-game set. It is sold out at Kauffman Stadium. The Cards and Royals tonight on WB11. With Al Rabowski, my name is Dan McLaughlin, and welcome to Cardinals baseball on WB11. Last night, 17 hits for the Cardinals, 5 doubles, 1 home run. The bats were hot.
They were hot. It was really a fun game. A little sloppy play at times, but there was an awful lot of offense, and the Cardinals doubled them up.
Mention that Matt Morris has some rest. We're expecting big things from him tonight.
Yeah, he's lost 2 of his last 3 ball games, and there was a couple times where his pitch count got up there high, so they give him an extra day's rest. You can see when he is on, he wins the majority of his starts, and that's what we expect here tonight.
He is 4th in the National League with 77 strikeouts and an ERA of 1.54 in night games. Now Jeremy Offelt will make the start for the Kansas City Royals, and he's a left-hander that's very, very good.
Yeah, really, when you go over his stuff, he has 3 quality major league pitchers, just doesn't have a lot of experience. Came out of Double-A last year. A real surprise for these guys, but he doesn't have the experience, and we'll have to see what he has tonight.
So it's Game 2 of this three-game set between the Cards and Royals. It's interleague play here on WB11. Albert Pujols, 3 of those 5 doubles last night. What's in store tonight? Cardinals baseball on WB11 is brought to you by Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with the crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. By your local St. Louis Chrysler Jeep dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Cardinals on WB11. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Center, St. Louis's #1 choice for tires and automotive service. And by Southwest Airlines, bringing people together with low fares. Cardinals are 7-9 in interleague play against the Kansas City Royals. There's manager Tony La Russa. After a sweep last year, they take Game 1 of this three-game set. Last night, a look at his lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Vina will lead things off, followed by Polanco, Drew, then the cleanup man Pujols, 3 for 5 last night. Martinez, a 4-hit night last night. Renteria, Cairo is the DH. DePolice behind the plate. Eli Marerro is in center. He'll bat 9th for St. Louis. Around the Horn is brought to you by Dobbs. A look at the defense for Kansas City. Sweeney and Alicea on the right side of the infield. Joe Randa is at third base. Niefe Perez, former Rocky, is at short. Donzel McDonald appeared with the Yankees last year for 5 games. He's in left, just called up. Carlos Beltran is in center field. Brandon Berger had a big night against Darryl Kyle with a pair of home runs and 4 RBIs. He's in right tonight. And Brent Maine is behind the plate for Kansas City. Our Chrysler Jeep starter for the Kansas City Royals is a 22-year-old left-hander making his 7th major league start, Jeremy Offelt.
Offelt was in Double-A last year. He was originally signed with the Royals out of high school. This is his 6th professional year, and he started in the bullpen this year. Really made the team out of spring training. A real surprise. 3 quality pitches: fastball, big 12-6 curveball, and a changeup.
And the curveball, Al, is what everybody talks about when they talk about this young left-hander, only 22, as I mentioned, Jeremy Offelt.
Well, they also like the fact that he's 6'4", so these hitters are seeing him throwing a downward plane, which helps the breaking ball.
Here's Vina. Looks at a fastball up and away. 6:06. Our game time start. 85 degrees here in Kansas City. A beautiful night for baseball. An early start and a sold-out crowd. You won't see that very often here at Kauffman Stadium. They only average 13,000 a game. This is our Ford Key matchup. Vina around the league, and he has been solid, whether it's against the National League or the American League. Our Ford Key matchup, Fernando Vina. 2 balls and a strike on the leadoff man for St. Louis. We had some fun here last night. 17 hits, 5 doubles, and a home run from Tino Martinez. 3 balls and a strike. I mentioned a sold-out crowd here at Kauffman Stadium. A lot of red in that crowd here in Kansas City.
Matter of fact, I was just talking to the Royals owner, David Glass, and he made that comment. Look at all the red.
Vigna may have chased ball 4. Instead, it's a full count.
Of course, David Glass knew an awful lot about Cardinal red because he grew up a Cardinal fan and still likes the Cardinals unless they're playing his Royals.
These 2 teams will hook up in 2 series this year, this one and next weekend at Busch. Vigna draws a leadoff walk. That's how we start the game.
One of the goals the Cardinals have is to make this pitcher throw a lot of pitches, get him out of the game early. He's gotten very little run support. He is 0-3 as a starter. His lone win came when he was in relief.
You're watching the Cardinals on WB11 KPLR TV St. Louis. Just past 6 o'clock here in the Midwest. Dan McLaughlin, Al Raboski, and our Bud Sports crew. Great to have you with us along the Cardinals television network. Normally we have our radar gun there at the top of our screen. We apologize that's not up and running yet tonight. The key word though, Al, yet. Our crack staff is outside the truck feverishly trying to put it back together.
Who broke it?
I'm going to blame Doug. Why not? He can't yell at me tonight. Let's see if Vigna wants to do some running. The 1-0 pitch is a ball upstairs to Polanco. By the way, our umpires for tonight, Darryl Cousins is behind the plate, 23 years of Major League service. Jim Wolf is at first, Andy Fletcher at second, and Joe Brinkman is at third.
You see Nefi Perez trying to talk to the youngster, tell him you got to throw strikes. And as I mentioned, the Cardinal hitters are going to try and make him throw a lot of pitches early, get him out of this game, get into that bullpen before they get to their closer, and can't get to their Roberto Hernandez, who first born outside the United States 300 save man.
He was honored before the game actually yesterday.
Yep.
He's been very good for Kansas City.
Cardinals had some interest in him.
Yes, they did. This is game 2 of 12 interleague games on the year for the Cardinals. We'll see Anaheim and Seattle along the way, and the Royals next weekend. The check on Vigna back safely. 2 balls and a strike on Polanco. Everybody had a hit in that lineup last night with the exception of Eli Marerro, who is 0 for 5. He'll bat 9th tonight. DH tonight is Miguel Cairo. Drew is waiting on deck, and Vigna's picked off. The throw to second. Got him.
Now, a lot of times when a guy is the height of this pitcher, he's listed at 6'4", he looks a lot taller. They're easy to steal off of, but you see he had that lead. You've got to make sure, though, he goes to the plate. Really wasn't much deception there at all. Looked like he just lifted the leg and he left too soon.
2-2 on Polanco. So Vigna's picked off for the first out of this game. Cardinals have been one of the hottest teams in the major leagues, winners of 12 of their last 17. Polanco chops it left side. That's a fair ball. Quickly, Randa across the diamond. The tag by Sweeney got him for out number 2.
See Randa throwing all the way across the diamond, up the line a little bit. Sweeney comes off the bag and tags Polanco as he goes by. We saw an awful lot of sloppy defense yesterday, and I talked to infielders on both sides. They said that they cut the grass here, and it's very, very quick. But they also said there are ground balls that are hit that you really can't see. And remember, Tino had an awkward stab at one. Alisea was telling me there's certain balls you just don't see where they are. And they said in the day games it's much worse.
Shadows are on the field on the infield, but the outfield is mostly in the sun, especially in right. Watch out. Breaking ball got away, and Drew had to duck, and there's what we're talking about with the shadows on the infield. And Right field, you have to shade from the sun, and that's what our right fielder is doing right now, Brandon Berger. 3 balls and a strike on J.D. Drew. He has hit safely in 5 of his last 6 games, and he has 6 RBIs in the last 6 games to up his total to 28. Full count on J.D.
10 less home runs than a year ago for J.D.
Right on that pitch, fouled it back.
Scott Force is in attendance tonight.
Why would he want to be in Kansas City?
Stay in our hotel too. It's got J.D. It's got Beltran. He's got a lot of players.
J.D. ropes that foul into the seats. Almost a great play by a fan. Well, the 26-year-old right fielder of the Cardinals has hit left-handed pitching better than right-handed pitching, surprisingly, but strikes out for the 3rd and final out. It started with Fernando Vina being picked off. Ends with a strikeout, no score. Former Cardinals catcher Tony Pena is now running the show here in Kansas City. He's their new manager, took over for Tony Muser. Here's a look at his lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Not many big names in this lineup, with the exception of Sweeney. Go back cleanup. Then McDonald, Perez, Beltran, Sweeney, Randa Tucker, Berger, Alicea, and Brent May. Around the Horn is brought to you by Dobbs. A look at the Cardinals defense tonight. There's Tino Martinez, 1 error on the year. Vina is at second. We saw him picked off in the top half of this inning. Polanco, great defense last night. He's again at 3rd. Renteria leads all shortstops in the National League in fielding percentage. Pujols is in left, Kansas City native. Eli Marerro is in center. In right field, it's J.D. Drew. Behind the plate, Mike DeFelice, and our Chrysler Jeep starter for St. Louis is the right-hander, Matt Morris. This game starts for Kansas City with a fly ball into left. Misplayed by Pujols. Over his head. And Donzel McDonald reaches. Here in the bottom of the 1st, he's at second with nobody out.
Well, McDonald was just put on the active roster. Came up from Omaha as Quinn was put on the disabled list. And really kind of nonchalant. You're exactly right. He misplayed the ball. Kind of drifted back. Had a wrong approach to it. And puts Matty Moe under the gun. He has struggled a little bit of late, Matt Morris, and defensive plays like that don't help him.
What really stands out as we take a look at our Chrysler Jeep starter, Matt Morris, this season 7-4. You talk about struggling as of late. Uncharacteristically, 9 walks in his last 2 games. That's a span of 12 innings. Here's Perez. He'll put the ball in play. Martinez thought about going to 3rd. Instead, Vina covering it first for out number 1. The runner, leadoff man McDonald, moves up to 3rd. He's in scoring position for Beltran.
Tony Pena is going to have these guys play aggressively, and they're going to try and get out to an early lead against Matt Morris. There you see he thought about it, didn't have the grip on it, so get the sure out, get the out at first base. But anytime you get an opportunity to get that lead runner, you want to do so.
Brings in Beltran, hitting just .258 on the year. Number 3 man in the order. But he does have 34 RBIs. A swing and a miss at a fastball from Morris.
Beltran is one of their better hitters in this lineup. He's been not the average does not indicate that. Leads the team with those 34 RBIs.
Goes the opposite way. Pujols on the run. Diving play. Can't make it. Falls in front of him, a one-hopper. He'll come up throwing to second. Not in time. 2 doubles in the inning. First one over the glove of Albert Pujols. This one, a one-hopper, falls just short. And it's 1-0 Kansas City.
Just that slicing ball coming off the bat of a left-hander will keep on going away and into the corner. So Albert can't catch the ball, but does a nice job to knock it down. You see the runner at 3rd, he went back to tag up as if it was going to be caught. He would have scored easily, but when it did get by Pujols, then you just traded places, so to speak, double for double. And they won't bunt with Sweeney, though.
Now first base is open, but with Matt Morris on the mound in this matchup and early on in this game, he'll go at Mike Sweeney hitting .341 on the year, 9 home runs and 32 RBIs. First inning runs, 12 allowed, and all of those have been earned in 14 starts this season. That's a little disturbing for Matt Morris.
A lot of starters. Takes them a little while to get locked in, but something you want to really work on, accentuate it when you're warming up in the bullpen to make sure you're ready for that first inning.
Good matchup here early on with Sweeney and Morris. These two all-stars a year ago.
Duncan looking on.
.29 home runs for Sweeney last season. He was their top producer as far as RBIs.
And in interleague play, Sweeney's had a .307 average against everyone with 8 home runs and 48 RBIs, but a .340 average against the Cardinals.
Beat the Cardinals last year in extra innings. Capped off a sweep here at Kauffman Stadium with a home run. 9 home runs this season and 32 RBIs. Beltran is at second. Good speed. 2 balls and a strike on Mike Sweeney, 28-year-old from Orange County, California, in his 7th major league season.
Beltran is a great base stealer, high percentage type guy.
He's had over 40 steals combined the last couple of years. You have to watch him, even at second. 2-2 the count. Inning started with a fly ball over the head of Albert Pujols. And Albert will probably tell you it should have been caught. Instead, it got over his head. And a leadoff double sacrificed by Niefe Perez. Beltran brought him in with a liner that fell in front of Pujols for a double. And it's 1-0 Kansas City. That's ripped and just foul.
Joe Brinkman, the crew chief, down there with a call at third base, and you can see it was just foul.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Sweeney. Got him. Big strikeout there. DeFelice holds on, and that is out number 2. Good pitch here.
See, look at how DeFelice, give him a little credit. He kind of deked Sweeney a little bit, kind of shifting his weight inside to make the hitter think it's going to be a fastball inside, and then he sets up away, and a good breaking ball out there. Perfect pitch.
It's strikeout number 78 for Matt Morris, 4th best in the National League coming into tonight's play. Big breaking ball to Joe Randa, taken for a strike. Randa has really hit the Cardinals well in his career, whether it be with Pittsburgh or now with the Royals. He has done in the Cardinals many times.
.448 average against the Cardinals. And I think it's 18 RBIs in 19 games played.
Two outs, 1 ball, 1 strike. And the Royals' third baseman. Well, a good start for Kansas City in this game. 2 hits and a 1-0 lead, and now Randa is hit by the pitch. Morris isn't afraid to go inside, and he hits Randa. So it'll be 1st and 2nd, 2 outs, and that'll bring in Michael Tucker.
Well, you see DeFelice going inside and didn't want to make a mistake in the middle half. So Randa gets hit by the pitch. That's the 5th batter Matt has hit this year. Gets a little look out to Matt, and Matt took about 5 steps in to receive the ball, saying, hey, I'm just playing hardball. Not that he tried to do that. And that was a great stat last year that Matt hit more batters than home runs he allowed.
Right. There's a direct correlation is what you're saying.
Yes, it is. And I think a common denominator, we know Matt also won 22 games last year. The guys that pitch inside are the guys that consistently win.
22 game winner. First since Bob Gibson did it. Of course, we saw Mr. Gibson last weekend with Rich Gould back at Busch Stadium. Apparently Bob is still reeling from that interview. And so is Rich.
Congratulations to Bob's son, who was drafted. Chris was drafted by the Cardinals.
Right.
And remember, if you remember in that interview, he said Chris was there at the Redbird Roost, and he said, yeah, my son likes to go out and play. We'll just see what happens.
Here's a little tapper. Renteria can't make any play anywhere. A little seeing eye single on the infield. Hit number 3 for the Royals against Morris here in the first, and the bases are loaded.
One of those funny little swinging punts where the runner in between the two fielders right off the end of the bat. And you see Renteria coming in there, Vina coming in there, and the runner has to allow the defensive man the opportunity to field the ball, but you don't have to give him a complete free shot at it. So everything was right there at one time. Nobody could make a play.
There's Brandon Berger. Morris now working from the wind, and the first pitch is strike. Berger had a pair of home runs against Darryl Kyle last night, including a 3-run shot and a solo home run for 4 RBIs on the evening, 4 of their 6.
Last year he was the Royals minor league player of the year. He hit 40 home runs in Double-A.
On a breaking ball.
Get out of play
at will, and it's 0-2. Put this guy away and end the first. Now we mentioned that Kansas City on average now drawing 16,000. But with the Cardinals here tonight, they had pre-sold 37,000 tickets. They expected a huge walk-up here tonight and tomorrow. Bases are loaded here in the first. The 0-2 pitch. Struck him out. Caught him looking. DeFelice knew it. He was halfway to the dugout. 3 hits in the inning. Morris, not much help to start this inning from Albert Pujols. Is brought to you by Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with the crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. Tomorrow will come your way at 1 o'clock here on WB11. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, all those games will be seen on Fox Sports Net at 8:30. Matt Morris not happy with his first inning. 21 pitches, 3 hits allowed, and a 1-0 Kansas City lead. Might have fared a little better with a play by Pujols in left. Instead, it was a leadoff double, and that man, leadoff man Donzel McDonald, came around to score. Here is Albert Pujols, the cleanup man for Tony La Russa here in the top of the second. Pujols, Martinez, and Renteria. Albert looks at a strike, the Kansas City native that I mentioned before. At the age of 16, he was still living in the Dominican Republic. The youngest of 12 children came here to Kansas City. Moved with his father to the United States in 1996. He graduated from Fort Osage High School in Independence, Missouri. He was twice All-State. And starts this game off with yet another hit against the Royals. He has tore up the Royals in his first 2 seasons.
Well, and it bears repeating that he was not even on the Royals draft list.
Right here in their backyard, too.
In their backyard and making them pay. And he has just been unbelievable hitting here at Kauffman Stadium.
Albert with 3 doubles last night, and this man, Tino Martinez, 4 hits. He has seen his average on the rise.
He's hitting .529 in the month of June and hitting in all games played.
And looks at a strike from the lefty. Last night it was home run number 7. Tino now with 31 RBIs on the year. And as we mentioned before, a 4-hit night.
Raises average to 246. That's the highest it's been since the third game of the season when it was at 273. And a far cry from his low point of 138.
Here's the 0-1. Tino takes the ball. He led the club with 6 home runs, 20 RBIs in the month of May. So as the Cardinals pitching staff got healthy, Tino got hot and the Cardinals began to win.
He's really struggled against left-handed pitching, so we'll see if the youngster doesn't try and pitch around Pujols a little bit more. The Pujols hadn't hit left-handers very well this year either.
Tino's just 7 for 49 and takes a ball. 34-year-old first baseman for the Redbirds.
Cardinals have hit left-handers as a group only 232 versus 273 against right-handers.
3 balls and a strike. Tino was visiting with Chuck Knobloch before the game, now with the Kansas City Royals, former teammates with the New York Yankees, and Knobloch has been up and down this season.
Got a bad elbow, saw him on the disabled list.
3 balls and a strike on Tino Martinez. Royals up 1-0. And a walk. Second walk handed out by this lefty, Auffeld. Well, it's a great value and great fun. It's the Chevy's Cardinals Crew Kids Club. For only $18, members receive over $70 of great stuff, including 3 tickets to Cardinals games, an autograph party with Fernando Vina on August 11th, a CD carrying case, and much, much more. 421-3060 or stlcardinals.com for more information. Here's Renteria hitting .290. That average is on the rise as well.
He had 3 hits last night, and you see those RBIs now, 29, the most by any National League shortstop, and just a great combination. He has the best fielding percentage by any National League shortstop.
Jose Hernandez, Milwaukee, with 28 RBIs, the shortstop for the Brewers. That's way inside to Edgar. For the month of June, Edgar is 8 for 19 with 5 RBIs and a pair of doubles. Not pulling off pitches like we saw this time a year ago. Going the other way. Not concerned with the home runs. And Auffeld is struggling here in the second inning. It's first and second, nobody out. And it's 2-0.
Auffeld is these young guys that, you know, they say he sees the veterans working with all the tape and doing different things, and he's not that advanced yet. And what he really needs to do is that will only get you pitching defensively. You know, I mean by that, trying to make perfect pitches and then just ball 1, ball 2, instead of just going out there and let his good natural ability take over.
This is pitch number 21 already, and Renteria rips it towards Randa. Steps on the bag, throws to first, not in time. You might have thought that Renteria on 2-0 and Auffeld struggling to find the zone would be taking, but it was right down the middle and a little bit up, and he could drive it, and he certainly did.
Remember I talked about some of the infielders say they can't see the ball? Watch how Randa fields this ball. Watch his head. He kind of turned his head to the side, and it just luckily it hit his glove. And I'm sure it was one of those situations where he kind of lost the sight of it, but it was lucky it was right at him, hit him in the glove, and he was able to recover, get the lead man, but Renteria hustling all the way, couldn't complete the double play.
Here's Miguel Cairo. Had a pinch hitting appearance last night, stayed in the game and finished it up at second base. Leads the club with 8 hits in that role. Looks at a big breaking ball upstairs.
Here, watch what I'm talking about. His head, as you see how his head, he turned his head like that, because these guys are saying there's something about certain balls. If they stay down, they kind of are able to see it, but if it gets at a certain plane, then they lose the sight of it.
Auffeld would love the double play. Gets a pop up behind home plate and into the seats.
Cairo's, in his career, has hit left-handed pitchers to a .322 batting average. And just think about all that extra time he's been getting to play the last few days. This year he's 4 for 12 against left-handers. Help out in this situation as the DH.
Time is called. Now, you kind of talked about this last night. There's been a long-standing and well-earned reputation for groundskeeping excellence, immaculate fielding conditions for all the infielders, but cut a little shorter. I think we noticed that last night for sure.
Yeah, they said it was very quick, and it had not been that way until they came home off their road trip.
Here's a 1-1. Kauffman Stadium has changed a little bit over the years. Back in '95, they moved the outfield fences in 10 feet, lowered them from 12 to 9 feet. And since then, been one of the best hitter stadiums in the American League. Runs are up, batting averages are better.
Might have something to do with they don't have as much pitching.
A little bit. 3 balls and a strike. Brent Maine just got a glove on that.
Well, he's trying to work on a changeup. And see the pitch up there took off, and he actually hit it right in the almost the heel of the glove, so he ejected out. Tony Pena, hands-on manager. These guys love him because he's one of them. Same things that Tony did as a player, the same things his players do now. He's right there in the middle of them.
Let's go inside the numbers. It's brought to you by Bank of America, and take a look at what the Cardinals have done at the plate. The fewest strikeouts in the National League. The Giants are at 342. The Cardinals right there at 343. The Giants behind Bonds today played at Yankee Stadium, and Mr. Bonds went deep, Al.
It was a blast, but Mitchell Page in spring training said that was one of the goals, cut down on the strikeouts. We've heard that the last 4 or 5 years, but this year they're doing it. And I think it's an indication that, you know, they don't have Mark McGwire anymore. They know they have to manufacture runs. They have to put the ball in play. And it's a lot easier without that big home run thumper to everybody think about what can they do to play small ball and manufacture runs.
And the other guy that stands out besides Big Mac, Jim Edmonds. Strikeouts are down this year, although they've been on the rise when he's been in the lineup. Cairo, well hit, left field. Miguel has gone deep. 3-run home run. First on the year. RBIs 8, 9, and 10, and it's 3-1 St. Louis.
Well, you had that DH, and sometimes you wonder who to do, but it was pretty simple with the left hander on the mound that you're going to use Cairo. And there he gets a fastball, inner half, the ball's up, and he hits it out of the ballpark, and I bet his manager is very proud of his DH right now.
Tampa Bay didn't want him. The Cubs didn't want him. The Cardinals will take him. He's been outstanding. Miguel Cairo, his first home run this season, and it's 3-1 Redbirds. Coming behind, from behind again. Leaping play not made by Alicea, and a base hit for Mike DeFelice with 1 out here in the second.
Matt Morris had a tough first inning, but his teammates have come back to give him a lead, a 3-run lead, because of Miguel Cairo. And as you see, Marerro, one of the 3 catchers, but he's playing center field tonight. But DeFelice, who has been getting very little playing time of late, but has caught the majority of Morris's games. He hadn't caught the last couple of them, and Tony said, you know, it's one of those situations that put DeFelice in there, and he's been almost amazing of getting at least 2 hits a game when he does catch. And
he's also caught both of the Cardinals shutout wins this year. So DeFelice is at first, 1 out, 3 hits aside. It's 3-1 St. Louis here in the top of the second. We saw all kinds of offense last night. Could be the same tonight. Eli gets underneath this one into left center field. McDonald back and makes the play in front of the center fielder Beltran. DeFelice is back to first quickly.
Yeah, he went all the way around second base, but he did retouch second. And that ball carried a long way. Warmer weather here, and the ball's carrying a lot further as the left fielder and center fielder kind of do a crossing pattern. Of course, McDonald has played a lot of center also.
Good play and good concentration by Donzel McDonald in left. And here's Pena. He walked to start the game and then was picked off by the lefty Auffeld. See what he can do with 2 outs. Takes a breaking ball and a strike from the 22-year-old left-hander, making his 7th major league start. His first 7 appearances were out of the bullpen. 3rd round selection by the Royals back in 1997.
So they came to spring training and they just thought he was, just one of these, rookies going to first spring training with the big club, and nobody could hit him, so he made the ball club.
Last year he was at Wichita, their Double-A affiliate. He was 10-6, a career best in wins for him, with a 3.90 ERA in 25 starts. Two balls and a strike on Vina. Fouls it away. It's been a fun atmosphere this weekend here in Kansas City.
I remember when this was the way the crowds were all the time. And the Royals had those good teams in the 70s, 80s.
Teams that you were a part of. We all know what happened in '85.
Well, Whitey Herzog was here and took this franchise and really put it on the map with his. Couldn't beat the Yankees, but boy, they won the Western Division all the time.
Breaking ball on 3-2. Vina hangs in there. DeFelice will dig for 3rd. It'll be 1st and 3rd, 2 outs. Good piece of hitting by Vina. You can see he was a little surprised by that curveball, but just hung in there, and now he's on base for the 2nd time tonight.
Well, one of the things about his curveball is it's a little lazy, so he was able to readjust. And see him double clutch there, and it was a kind of a hanger, but this was the pitch before the base hit. There, you see the curveball and see him lean into it a little bit. That's not a good place you want to leave your breaking ball on the inner half of the plate. Vina was trying to lean into it and get hit by the pitch, and Fernando has actually hit left-handers much better than right-handers this season.
Polanco is in there. It's 1st and 3rd.
Oh, I forgot about that. I was looking at Cairo's. That's why you gave me that funny look, right?
Well, Miguel has hit those lefties pretty well.
Okay. Polanco's always hit left-handers well.
We'll take that.
He's .313 this year, and last year he was one of the tops in the National League.
But this is the area he has to improve upon, hitting .214 with runners in scoring position. And a check on Vina at first base.
I picked off Vina, but Vina is not going to let that happen again.
Inning started with a base hit by Pujols, a walk to Martinez, Renteria force play, and then the home run by Cairo. That made it 3-1. DeFelice a base hit. Marerro flied out. A base hit by Vina. It's 1st and 3rd, and here's Polanco, and it's 0-2. Placido grounded sharply to 3rd, his first time up back in the 1st. Cairo has given the Cardinals a lead.
Polanco can't take a pitch on the outside and drive it to right.
Room to that right side with Sweeney holding.
Young pitcher who has supposedly 3 pretty good pitches. It helps if he's pitching ahead in the count.
On 1-2, Polanco up the middle. Alicea, though, had him played there. Cardinals strand a couple, but they get on the board in a big way. Tony La Russa loved it. His reaction to Cairo's home run. Yeah, 3-1 St. Louis. That man will be on WB 11 News at 9. That's Miguel Cairo. He has made it a 3-1 St. Louis lead. Join Jeff Bernthal, Dan Issa, and Al's favorite meteorologist, Karen Shipman, for the latest news, sports, and weather on WB 11 News immediately following tonight's action here from Kansas City. Your favorite, Karen Shipman, standing by with all the weather, Al.
Yeah, she called me again today to make sure that I was aware of the weather patterns here in Kansas City. They're very similar to 250 miles to our east. She'll tell everybody what she told me.
Well done, Al. Looking forward to Karen Shipman and Dan Issa, that wonderful combination coming up later tonight. Luis Alicea will lead things off. Bottom of the second, Alicea, then Brent Mayne, the catcher, in the top of the order, and Donzel McDonald. We didn't get into the home run by Bonds, number 21, which is tied for first in the National League with Sammy Sosa, halfway up the upper deck at Yankee Stadium.
It was a bomb, and he got all of it.
Strikeout of Alicea, and a heck of a pitch, and that's strikeout number 3 for Matt Morris on the night.
Look at that tailing fastball. You start on the inside part of the plate, the hitter gives up on it, and ball slides back there. I'm sure if Tony Pena saw what the replay, he wouldn't be yelling so hard.
That tailing action is tough on left-handers, and Morris has got good movement on that fastball in the low to mid-90s. Here is Brent Mayne hitting .221 on the season, .405 average against the Cardinals in his career.
Left-handers have hit .238 this year against Matt, and right-handers .266.
Back with his original organization. That's Brent Mayne. And it's a shot in the right field. Drew going back in makes the play. Shades from the sun. 2 outs, and the chance of Drew here in Kansas City.
A tough ball right at you, so you kind of hold your ground until it gets up a little bit, and then you can see the flight and track it down.
21 pitches, Al, in that first inning, and now a very efficient inning so far, as the leadoff man Donzel McDonald will step in. He has scored the only run for Kansas City tonight last inning. Started the inning off with a double over the head of Albert Pujols.
He had a brief stint with the Yankees.
5 games.
5 games.
Selected by the Yankees originally, and came over in late March.
More from the Cleveland organization, and I think he had one of those 6-year minor league free agent guys, and if he didn't make the team, he had the ability to go elsewhere and chose Kansas City.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Switch hitter, and played a lot of center field, steal a base, run a little bit.
At Omaha this year, he was hitting .263 in 53 games. Almost chased. Instead of full count. Royals placed Mark Quinn, who was their starter in right field last night, on the DL with a left hamstring strain. And McDonald gets an opportunity. Good pitch there by Morris. Didn't get the call. Looks in, trying to figure out where was it. First walk.
Darryl Cousins, I guess, is going to hear it from both benches, but I thought that one was low. Probably the hardest thing for us to judge, though, is the height of the pitch.
Brings in Perez, who did a nice job back in the first in an area that he is very good at, and that's moving runners up with getting a bunt down, got the sacrifice down, and the Royals really like him in this spot as the number 2 hitter. McDonald at first with 2 outs. First pitch to the former Rocky instead. Moore steps off.
Dave Duncan said that Nefi Perez hit for the cycle off of Matt Morris.
You remember that?
No.
Me neither. Oakland beat Houston today 5-1, so the Astros continue to struggle. Yankees lose to San Francisco 4-3. And Perez gets it to Pena. The Gold Glover puts it away, and Matt Morris an efficient second inning. We have played 2 here at Kauffman Stadium. Coming up for St. Louis, don't go anywhere. Drew, Pujols, and Tino Martinez. This day in baseball history is brought to you by Schnucks. June 8, 1979, future NFL stars Dan Marino and John Elway are selected by the Royals during the free agent draft back in 1979. I think those two made wise career decisions.
John Elway did sign with the Yankees.
Right.
And played minor league baseball for them for a brief period of time.
J.D. Drew will lead things off, top of the third. The Cardinals lead it by the score of 3-1.
Actually played in an old timers game in Denver, where John Elway played with us, and you can see that he was a pretty good baseball player.
We saw the other day some of the Rams coming down to Busch Stadium. Dexter McLeon was really good in the cage. He played some junior college baseball along the way. Cornerback for St. Louis.
And we had, who was it in Cincinnati?
Corey Dillon.
Corey Dillon, yeah. Took batting practice with the Reds.
Running back for the Bengals. He looked like a beefed up Pokey Reese.
Yes, he did.
2 balls, 2 strikes on J.D. Drew. We talked about this his first time up. Last year he had 366 in May and had swatted 18 home runs by the end of that month. This year a little different story. It's been a struggle for J.D. with 9 home runs, 28 RBIs, and a .282 batting mark. And Drew is aboard. Leadoff walk. That's something that he will do a little better. And it started last year. He'll hang in there against left-handed pitching. He came in hitting close to 300 against lefties.
298 against left-handers, 278 against right-handers.
Kind of surprised me.
Yes, it does.
There's Albert Pujols. Got things started in a big second inning for St. Louis with a single. And Albert on the first pitch he sees into center. Beltran back shading. Has it. Albert just got under it. Boy, he just missed it, Al. We're out number 1.
He's just been a phenomenal hitter in this ballpark. So jumping on this one and just underneath it a little bit of dip. See Beltran, no glasses, but using his glove to shield his eyes from the sun, makes the catch and got it back in quickly. J.D. thought about trying to tag up and go to second, but I think he made the wise decision to hold.
Here's Tino Martinez, but Drew at first. Tino well hit into right field. Berger back and makes the play right in front of the track, and back to first was J.D. Drew. Berger's got the glasses but not using them in right.
I think you can see, though, the way he's running into the corner, the sun is not a factor. If he had his body turned the other way towards center field, then he would be looking into the sun. So he had the glasses but didn't need them.
So it'll take a 2-out hit by Renteria to extend the inning to Cairo, who's on deck. He owns the 3 RBIs tonight with a 3-run home run his first time up. Jeremy Offelt working a little quicker here in this 3rd inning. Two outs. Drew is at first. Good lead. Pitch is pounded left side. Fair ball. And dropped by the third baseman, Randa. He looked back to see if the umpire was going to help him out and call it foul. Instead, he dropped it.
But I think he was smart to be maybe a bad actor. That's a tough play. Right on the chalk line. So you know it's a fair ball, but he tried to at least act his way to say it's foul ball. But Joe Brinkman says, no, I can see where it hit the line.
An error against Randa.
It's kind of a tough error.
That's really tough because he may have beaten it out anyway. Error number 6 on the third baseman. Would have taken a very good play.
I'd put it down a base hit right away.
Yep, me too. Here's Cairo. Let's take you back, second inning, and Miguel all over this pitch. His first of the season, a 3-run home run, and the Cardinals took the lead 3-1.
Ball up out over the plate, and he jumped on it.
That scored Martinez and Renteria. 2-0. Cairo has been fun to watch. Very good off the bench this year. He's second now in the National League with 8 pinch hits. We mentioned before that picked up number 8 last night. 2 balls and a strike. He has played first, second, third, left field. And tonight he is the DH for Tony La Russa. Let's see what he can do with 2 balls and a strike and 2 on and 2 outs. Evens up the count with a foul ball.
Look at the freeze of the home run swing. See the arms extension, and look at where the eyes are. Maybe we can talk to the guys in the truck if we can hold this frame someplace, and then maybe when Marerro comes up we can compare them, because one of the things that Kinder was saying, that working with Marerro, is that he would get his arms extended, but then you'd see his head fly forward, and it's kind of hard to hit. You can understand why he's 0 for 6 in the series if the head's flying one way and your hands are back here. You got to be looking at the point of contact.
You're watching the Cardinals on WB11 KPLR TV St. Louis. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Pulled foul. We'll do it again. We'll come your way tomorrow along the Cardinals television network, and let's hope we're talking about a sweep. All the games on this road trip will be televised from here on out. All 3 from Seattle at Safeco Field will be on Fox Sports Net. 2-2 the count on Cairo. Busy sports day. Glad you've been able to fit us in. We've had big horse race, now Cardinal baseball, and then you got the fight later tonight. Full count on Cairo. This lefty has walked 2 already today. Runners are going, and the pitch is swung on and gets away from the catcher. Not a foul ball. Drew will stop at third, and reaching will be Miguel Cairo with the good hustle on the ball that got away from Brent Maine.
It's a strikeout, wild pitch. So watch this. It's a change up there and throws in the dirt, goes off the corner of the plate, gets by the catcher.
And here comes Al Nipper.
And part of this is just to try and control the emotions of the young pitcher. The second strikeout, but puts him into a situation where the base is loaded, and Mike DeFelice. And we were talking about earlier, and yesterday it was probably more pronounced, so I'm anxious to kind of see this, but you see how look where his head is. You can't tell the difference distinctly, where Cairo and his home run is there on the right, and Marerro's first at bat, as he's got the extension, but look at his head is pulling off the pitch and trying to get there to hold it to look at it, but you can see his eyes are floating away.
Our thanks to Lindsey Polite.
Nice
Al
ball.
ask and you shall receive.
Man, I didn't know I had that power with Lindsey.
Big time. Here's DeFelice. The changeup pulled foul. Mike had a base hit over the second baseman's head. Luis Alicea in the second inning.
I thought Alicea mistimed his jump.
Thought he had it too.
Yeah, I thought he probably had time enough to take another step or 2 back before jumping.
Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the third. This is our Geico Direct moment. It's a big one in this game. DeFelice well hit, center field. Beltran back and has it. Mike gave it a ride to the opposite field, but strands the bases loaded with our Geico Direct moment. Cardinals have led 5, and it's 3-1 St. Louis. June 15th will be a very special night in St. Louis at the Fairmont Racetrack over in Illinois. You can win $1 million. It's Mike Shannon's Celebrity Night at the races. A lot of Cardinals players will be there. That'll be Saturday, June 15th, 5 p.m. over at Fairmont. 721-1200. Mike enjoying the beautiful weather here in Kansas City. Hawaiian Mike.
Hawaiian Mike, and I'm sure there was a lot of action being placed over at Fairmont Park today.
You would imagine so.
Long shot coming through.
70-1, right?
Yep.
Beltran will lead things off in the Royals half of the third. They trail by 2. Good pitch by Morris, Beltran, Sweeney, and Randa. So Mike Shannon's Celebrity Night at the races to benefit his scholarship fund at CBC High School.
And I heard Bud Sports' very own Dog and Pony Show producer, Kevin Shank, got a big payday on that race.
Oh, really?
12 grand.
He's one of the best in the business.
He could do those dog shows with the best of them.
I meant as a producer.
Well, I mean, you know, that's what he's known for, is producing the dog show.
Oh.
You didn't know that about Kevin?
I didn't know that. I know Old Yeller does bowling, but I never realized that the dog show is being produced by our very own Kevin Shank. Thank you, Al. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Marerro back. Can't catch up with it. One hopper off the wall. Beltran will dig for third. Boy, was he flying.
Oh, he's got great speed, and he's got all the talent in the world. Now, that is the 19th triple that the Royals have had, and let's give Pujols a little credit right here. This ball gets over the head, but there's a left fielder backing up, and we'll see how quick he was going around those bases. Then turn it on to about right now.
Long strides.
That is his 4th double of the year, and as I said, 19th for the Royals.
So a triple for Beltran, number 4, his 30th career triple. It took 11 seconds off the bat for him to get the third, and now an RBI opportunity for Sweeney up the middle. Bena, good play behind the bag, and makes it for the first out. Run scores, cuts the lead to 3-2, but Bena, very nice play.
That really was a nice play because that second base bag was looming there. They cut the lead. Beltran scores on the play, but
Sweeney with RBI number 33.
Leads the club right there. You know, if you're the Bena right there, your concentration, or you're sitting there going, oh, that's going to hit the bag. It could deflect left, right, and bounce right over. Time is called. Late, very late. And there you see the Cardinal bench kind of chastising the home plate umpire, because that's how a guy hurts his arm. And Matt did the right thing by go ahead and throwing the pitch.
Behind the plate, Darrell Cousins, 23 years of Major League service. Former player in the Detroit and Cleveland organizations. Joined the Major Leagues in 1980. He's been a very good umpire over the years. Breaking ball pulled foul off the bat of Joe Randa. You can understand why Tony La Russa and Dave Duncan would be upset. Not just for any pitcher, but a guy like Morris that has had arm problems in the past, and you want to be careful with a guy like Matt.
I think far too many times they award that timeout so late to the hitter, and they don't have to. You know, the hitter can request it, but it has to be granted by the home plate umpire. And if you're a pitcher, you know, you just go ahead and execute your pitch, because if you try to stop it late in your windup, that's when you get that recoiling effect, or could hurt your arm.
On 1-2, Morris. This is outside. Randa was hit his first time at the plate and left stranded with the bases loaded back in the first. And the Royals picked up their first of 2 runs on a double by Beltran. He has a double and a triple here tonight. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout from Morris. Strikeout number 4.
You know, one of the things you can say about hitters today is they do not adjust with 2 strikes. They do not worry about those strikeout totals. They don't try to alter their swing or choke up and try and put the ball in play. Still swinging for the fences.
Here's Michael Tucker, DH for Kansas City tonight. A .270 hitter here at Kauffman Stadium. 1 for 1 on the night, an infield single back in the first. That loaded the bases up, but no damage done.
I was talking with Mike Boddicker, former outstanding pitcher, curveball pitcher, and he throws batting practice every day when the Royals are at home. And we were talking about how much fun it is to kind of throw batting practice and see the strengths and weaknesses of hitters.
And our umpire is hit with a fastball. DeFelice may have gotten a piece of it, but not enough, obviously, to stop that.
And this is the most embarrassing thing for a catcher, is to get an umpire hit, goes off his glove into the right shoulder of the home plate umpire. But Boddicker was talking about Chuck Knobloch and saying how, you know, absolutely fooled. Let's go back to the pitch that goes off the glove and see if you can hear it. Ooh. Didn't sound like he slowed it down much.
Not at all. What about Knobloch?
Well, and he said that, you know, he remembered facing him, and he said now that he's gotten much older, he has the same batting stance and where he holds his hands, and he's not able to do that at this advanced age.
On 3-1, Tucker grounds out to second.
We'll talk about it
when we come back. We played 3 here at Kauffman Stadium. Royals get another run. Cut the lead to 3-2. This portion of Cardinal baseball from Kansas City on WB11 is brought to you by Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. By your St. Louis area Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. And by Bank of America, we find financial solutions that fit you. 4th inning, Marerro will lead things off at the top of the order. Vina and Polanco. Remember, American League ballpark, DH is in effect, so Marerro hitting 9th for Tony La Russa this evening. Let's go back to Chuck Knobloch.
Yeah, so Boddicker was sitting with George Brett, and they were talking about Knobloch really struggling, batting 176, and Boddicker told George Brett what he saw, and George went up to him. Here's a Hall of Famer and a left-handed hitter, and said, you know, I had to make some adjustments later in my career. We're watching you, and here's what we think. And
Eli, boy, that is perfect. No chance for the third baseman, Joe Randa. That is absolutely perfect. And the leadoff man is on.
But Knobloch would not make the adjustment. Said, okay, and walked away and went in batting practice and hadn't changed yet. Here's a perfect delivery for you from Pizza Hut. And this reminds me of what another Hall of Famer said. Rod Carew, 7-time batting champion in the American League, said, I would never go into a prolonged hitting slump because of his ability to bunt. What does the bunt do? You get back to the most simplest form of basics, seeing the ball hit the bat.
Snaps an 0 for 6 string in this series for Marerro. And here's Vina.
Saw the Cardinals were number 2 in the National League in infield hits, and Vina a big part of that stat.
Marerro is 7 stolen bases. He is at first, and you can do some things with Vina at the plate and Eli at first base with the great speed. Cardinals lead it by a run. It's 3-2. Miguel Cairo, a home run, a 3-run shot in the 2nd inning. Reverend Votov from St. Louis is here.
Oh, everybody's here.
Always following the Cardinals. Does great work in the community. And he wanted to say hi to family and friends back home in St. Louis. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, taken for a ball.
A couple wonderful ladies were accosting every Cardinal player last night. Barb and Cindy from St. Louis, the South Side. They say hi to all their family and friends, and they really love Fernando Vina. These gals were having fun in the bar last night.
Of course, you were studying up for game 2 of this 3-game set.
No, I was having libations with my bride.
Okay.
And it was quite the scene.
The lovely June.
Yeah, they love Fernando Vina, but they attacked Steve Klein.
And he welcomed it.
And many others.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me the note at the table.
2-2 the count on Vina, who's been on base twice with a walk and a base hit. Polanco is on deck. Simon Tachi, by the way, will throw tomorrow for St. Louis. Cardinals are 5-0 in his starts. He's 4-0 on the year. That'll be his 6th start of the year in the series finale. Pitched on Monday night. Allowed 1 run and 6 in the 3rd innings pitched, and that 8-5 victory over Cincinnati. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Vina fouls it off his leg. Miguel Cairo will start for Kansas City. He's 1-0. We look ahead to the Mariners. Bud Smith, Woody Williams, and Darryl Kyle for St. Louis. Bud will go against Jamie Moyer, who's 5-2. Those games, all 3 of them from Seattle on Fox Sports Net. Count is even with 2 balls and 2 strikes on Fernando Vina. Full count. Jeremy Offelt has seen his pitch count go up. We're only in the 4th inning, and nobody out after the infield hit by Marerro to start things off. Vina off the pitcher's glove, may beat it out. He will, and that's a base hit. Offelt didn't help himself there. May have stopped it from going to the shortstop Perez, who probably had a much better chance at getting Vina.
He's 6'4", and he goes all the way up and does deflect it. But as an athlete and a competitor, it's really hard to say don't get a ball right back over the mound, especially when you're tall.
So 2 on, nobody out here in the 4th.
There's Uncle Buddy Bates, the best, simply the best, and as a good uncle, he wants to say happy birthday to his niece, Alicia Logan. But Buddy Bates, now I guess our suitcases will make the next trip to Seattle.
1 more trip.
And hopefully back home.
Yes.
Buddy is the best.
Here's Polanco. 0 for 2 on the night. Trying to move the runners over. It's 1st and 2nd. Nobody out. Here in the 4th inning, Drew is on deck. With Polanco with good bat control, you can do some things here as well. The 2nd spot in the order for Tony La Russa. Began the year with a 10-game hit streak. 44 hits on the season. Runners go, and Polanco hits it into left field. That's a base hit. And an RBI for Polanco. That's number 14. Runners were going, and Polanco finds a hole, and it's 4-2.
That's great. Polanco had been struggling a little bit. Swing hasn't been there, so start the runners, put a little pressure on, and remember, after you got that bunch, you get the defense coming in a little bit, and you saw the third baseman try and deke Marerro a little bit, but he didn't fall for it. And Polanco picks up his 14th RBI. Cardinals double their lead to 4-2.
Redbirds have 7 hits on the night and 3 consecutive base hits. There's Mac Suzuki, number 17 of the Royals. He'll get up and start throwing in their bullpen. J.D. Drew takes a breaking ball for a strike. J.D. tonight struck out swinging to end the 1st, and he walked his last time up in the 3rd.
The way this left-hander slows down his motion. But let's go back to the Polanco hit. Now watch what Marerro does here. See, the third baseman tried to deke him a little bit. And I can't believe that Eli even flinched. Saw the ball off the bat as he was running with the pitch go over the head of Miranda. So he knew that it wasn't going to be a forced play.
Let's see what Drew can do here. RBIs tonight for St. Louis by Polanco, 1, 3 for Cairo on one swing of the bat. His first home run of the season back in the second made it 3-1. Royals got one back, made it 3-2, and now the Cardinals have back their 2-run lead.
Dan, I know the Royals are excited about this young left-hander, but with the Cardinals bats,
JD into center field.
He hadn't hit a lot of balls hard this inning, and there he gets one off the end of the bat. But I just have a feeling that he doesn't have the way he slows up on his breaking ball, and he just doesn't have enough to fool these guys.
Good indication what you're talking about was Vigna able to adjust a couple innings ago on that breaking ball.
Right. And and he makes enough mistakes with his off-speed pitches. I think they're talking about an injury here.
You can see him say, I'm all right to the shortstop Perez.
Yeah, but I'm real surprised that Al Nipper or Tony Pena did not go to the umpire. But I guess they all see that the trainer comes out and developed a blister.
He may have to be taken out. One out here in the fourth, and Offeld has allowed 7 hits. It's a 4-2 Cardinals lead. They're looking at that blister on his pitching hand, and that might be it. It is going to be it. Looks like Suzuki is going to take over, the right-hander. So Offeld, 22-year-old, is done for the Kansas City Royals. They got to Bird last night, and tonight they get to the left-hander. Suzuki will come in. It's first and second, 1 out, and Albert Pujols stepping to the plate. The city, and don't forget about a great weekend, the family weekend coming up at Busch Stadium. July 4th through the 7th, the Dodgers will be in town. On July 4th at 5:10, note the start time, 5:10, it's Budweiser Visor Day. Then on the 6th against the Dodgers, 3:10 start, Tino Martinez Bat Day. On the 7th, it's BJC Healthcare Kids Cap Day. And it's also Gateway Arch Run the Bases Day, so family weekend. Come on by, stop by in St. Louis at Busch Stadium for July 4th. What a weekend. 421-3060 or stlcardinals.com for more ticket information. Max Suzuki will take over. This will be just his 3rd appearance for the Royals this season. He was 2-5 with a 5.30 ERA in 56 innings with the Royals a year ago.
Started the season at AA, made a start there. He recalled from AAA Omaha on May the 20th. He was 0-3 at Omaha with a 2.63 ERA in 27 1/3 innings, allowing 8 earned runs and 7 walks, while striking out 27. So Suzuki will be given all the time he needs to warm up as he comes in for an injury.
Jeremy Offeld had to leave with a blister. You could see he had some blood on his pitching hand, so he's done after 3 1/3. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinal Baseball is a production of Bud Sports and an exclusive presentation of Fox Sports Net. I want to thank our fine crew here in Kansas City and echo those wishes. Get well, Mr. Buck. A lot of Cardinal fans here in Kansas City have been asking myself and Al and the rest of the broadcasters and the folks that travel with the team about the health of Jack Buck, and we wish him all the best, and Joe and Mrs. Buck as well. Here's Albert Pujols, 1 for 2 on the night. So Suzuki comes in. It's first and second. 1 out and a 4-2 Cardinal lead here in the 4th.
Third Japanese-born player to play in the major leagues and the first in the American League. The first Japanese-born player to play in the major leagues without starting his career in Japanese professional leagues.
First pitch to Albert is taken for ball inside. We mentioned that Pujols moved to the United States in '96, settling in the Kansas City area. Fort Osage High School in Independence, Missouri, two-time All-State. Earned a baseball scholarship to Maple Woods Community College in Kansas City. Of course, the Cardinals picked him 13th round of the '99 free agent draft, and Pujols drives this down the left field line. Is it fair? It is gone. Home run, Albert Pujols. 3-run shot. The second 3-run home run for the Cardinals tonight. The other by Cairo. This one by Pujols.
50th. Career home run, 13th this season. Had 37 as he was only the 9th unanimous choice rookie of the year. And that was just a line drive you could hang your laundry on. Trying to get home, isn't he? Woof. He likes it hitting here at home, Kauffman Stadium. His numbers are unbelievable.
That makes it a 7-2 St. Louis lead. They are unbelievable is right, Al.
And looked like Darryl Cousins this time got hit by the pitch in the leg. So he's been beat up on the shoulder, now around the ankle. Look at Jim Edmonds talking to him as see Jimmy, and Jimmy's wrist is getting much better, but he probably, that's about 99.9, will not play at all in this trip. There you see at Kauffman Stadium, 600 average, 12 for 20, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs in just 5 games.
That's our umpire behind the plate, Darryl Cousins. Well, we've had a pair of 3-run home runs here tonight. The first was by Cairo. That was in the 2nd inning. And this one by Albert. There's the look at the extensions for both their swings, Al. Albert on the left and Miguel on the right.
Well, look, it almost looks like the bat. It looks like his hands are through. Pujols and bat kind of dragging, but it's just how quick he is with those wrists that he can just pop them over and the ball just jumps off the bat. And this looks like around the thumb region.
For folks just joining us, he took a fastball that barely nicked the glove of DeFelice an inning ago from Morris and took that off the shoulder.
Yeah, but you see how he really doesn't get behind a catcher very much at all. And that ball bounced up and hits him right on the hand. So when he starts jumping, watch the hand comes forward. Or he started to get it back, but it hits off the back of the hand there.
The catcher, Brent Maine, had it right. His throwing hand behind his body. And you're taught to do that from day one. But the umpire didn't do it, and he paid the price. He's been through some wars, though, in 23 years in the major leagues. Former player, now umpire, came up in 1980. 1-0 the count on Tino Martinez, who has walked and scored. He also lined out to right. 0 for 1 on the evening. 4-hit night last night. Closed the book on Offelt, 3 1/3, 6 runs, 7 hits. Pair of strikeouts, 2 walks. 22-year-old left-hander for Kansas City. Through 84 pitches, 47 were strikes, and he had to leave the game because of a blister on his throwing hand. So he's done for the night, and now it's Mac Suzuki. Pitchers duel between Pedro and Schilling. Arizona beat Boston 3-2.
And watch Cousins. He's kind of jumpy back there, but now he has his hand out in front of his body. So not trying to protect it at all. Or
Cincinnati, by the way, a 4-3 winner over Anaheim in Southern California this afternoon. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's in the dirt. There's our home plate umpire halfway towards the dugout.
Well, you couldn't blame him. Gaylord Perry had some really sophisticated set of signs, and one day a young catcher making his first major league start. His name was Buck Owens, and he was catching in Cincinnati. He was from Ohio. And Ed Vargo, who was at the time was the most senior National League umpire, was back behind the plate. And in the first inning, the pitch got away from him, hit the umpire right square in the chest. And Buck Owens, I think the rest of the day, wanted to retire.
So Martinez strikes out. That brings in Renteria. Edgar tonight with a run scored. He's over 2, reached on an error back in the 3rd. Here by Aranda, his 8th of the season, the Royals' third baseman. Cardinals begin play tonight. 1 game out, now 1.5 with the win by Cincinnati over Anaheim. We will see the Angels in interleague play this year, along with Seattle, to wrap up this road trip. We'll see Kansas City again. This is our first of 2 meetings on the year. 2 balls and a strike on Edgar. He raised his batting mark to .290 with 3 hits last night coming into tonight's play. Three balls and a strike. The Cardinals are hitting without Jim Edmonds in the lineup. That's key. Be nice to see him before this road trip ends. He will not play in Kansas City, but as Al just told you, may play in Seattle. There was some thought that they may put him on the disabled list, but looks like they're not going to do that because of the DH, and they can kind of get around it. Now Tony Pena talks it over with our home plate umpire.
I wonder, Tony complaining about something from the Cardinal dugout, and you know what it is Brad Henderson with his camera, I think. Yeah, complaining about Brad Henderson taking pictures. Brad, you troublemaker. He'll have stripes on if he keeps that up. Look at me. You gotta kid me. Tony doesn't miss a thing, does he?
Runner is going, and Renteria will steal a base very easily. Suzuki didn't even pay attention.
That's 6 stolen base in 10 attempts for Edgar. He off to a slow start in that stolen base department.
Cairo has a home run tonight. 3-run shot. He's also struck out. Chance to make it a 4 RBI night. 1 ball, 1 strike on Miguel. So Cincinnati beats Anaheim 4-3. Seattle over Chicago 4-2. Sosa's homered, by the way, in that series. Toronto over Colorado 3-1. And Arizona beat Boston 3-2 in that great pitching pairing today. Cairo is a little ahead of that one, but fouled it away. All of a sudden, a 5-run lead for Matt Morris. You feel pretty good about this one.
It's been a long inning with the injury and a lot of base hits. And the Cardinals have put 4 runs up there. So,
which injury? Home plate umpire, the starting pitcher.
Yeah, good point. And so Matt will have to really utilize those 8 warm-up pitches.
That ball gets away from Brent May. We saw a wild pitch, and that's going to get close to the dugout. It was about an inch away from falling down into those stairs and into the dugout. And it's 2-2. So the ball gets away from Maine, a wild pitch.
See him go over there to try to do it, but the whole difference in how he did it, he put the glove down to block the hole between his legs, but you don't see him throw the shoulders and the head come over the top to when the ball goes off the chest protector to keep it right in front of him. Goes off the chest protector and gets away.
Cairo on 2-2. Checks his swing, takes a ball. DeFelice is on deck. And this has been a very long top of the fourth. Cardinals got 3 in the second, now 4 here in the fourth. This is the second time they've had 8 come to the plate in an inning.
Last night we had 2 times we batted around.
Right. That time he went around and a strikeout for Suzuki. 2 strikeouts in the inning, and the Cardinals are having all kinds of fun tonight. They lead it 7-2. Bottom of the fourth, Albert Pujols, the second of the Cardinals' 3-run homers, the other by Miguel Cairo, and it's 7-2 St. Louis. 3 in the second, 4 in the top half of this inning, and it's 7-2 Redbirds. Cardinals have left 6 on the night. They have 8 hits, and leading things off, it'll be Brandon Berger, 2 home runs off of Kyle last night. It's a 27-minute top of the fourth. Let's see how Morris can respond to that. Now pitching with a 5-run lead. By the way, with that home run by Albert Pujols, he has scored runs in 11 of his last 12 games. Last season he had 583 against Kansas City. He had 3 doubles last night, 2 hits here tonight, including a 3-run home run. 2 balls and a strike on Berger. First time up he struck out against Matt Morris. It'll be Berger, Alicea, and the catcher Brent Maine. Now Tony Pena.
It's Lamar Johnson.
Yeah. As Tony Pena's trying to calm down his coach.
His hitting coach, and of course it's not a good idea, you know, to mess with Brad Henderson or Darryl Cousins. But
so Johnson has been ejected from this game. He's done, and the pitch is grounded to third. Went away. Berger is 0 for 2. Well, there was some confusion with Tino Martinez when he was at the plate now. The reason why is that our home plate umpire was hit on the thumb, and many thought there was still 2 strikes on him, but that was not the case. That was the first pitch, and here's our pitch by pitch.
So there's 1-1, 1-2, 2-2, strike 3.
There it is. All the commotion, all for that. Lindsey Polite put that together. Breaking ball, the strike to Alicea, former Redbird. Been around for a long time now. Luis Alicea, switch hitter for the Royals, playing second base tonight.
Asked him about how Robin and his 2 kids are doing. He said fine. They just got in town today.
Alicea to Polanco, his second chance in this inning. And there's 2 away. Hey, congratulations to our video coach of the St. Louis Cardinals, Chad Blair. He, along with his lovely wife, brand new baby, their first. Everybody's healthy, and congratulations to Chad. I'm sure he's tuning in tonight. Wouldn't miss a pitch of this season. If not, he's got it on video.
Absolutely. That's great news.
Chad, one of our favorites. We get a chance to travel year-round with Chad Blair. Congratulations to him.
Those staffers, those first bus guys.
First bus means you've been around a long time. Why are you with us? Come on, Al. Top of the 5th here in Kansas City. We want to remind you, next Friday it's Merrimack Caverns night at the ballpark, and all fans 11 and under with a paid admission will receive a coupon good for admission for a cave tour and boat ride courtesy of Merrimack Caverns. So that night at Busch Stadium will be a 7:10 first pitch next Friday. 421-3060 or STLCardinals.com for more information on Merrimack Caverns night at the ballpark. Mike DeFelice will lead it off, followed by Eli Marerro, 8 and 9, and then the top of the order, Vigna for St. Louis. They lead it 7-2. Every Cardinal has reached base in this lineup. Drew and DeFelice, the only Cardinals that have not scored here this evening. Had a pair of 3-run home runs, one by Cairo, the other by Albert Pujols. DeFelice has a base hit. He's 1 for 2 on the night. Left the bases loaded to end the 3rd inning on a line out to center field. Max Suzuki has taken over for Jeremy Offelt. Suzuki came in with 2 on, 1 out in the 4th and gave up a home run to Pujols. One ball, one strike.
Karen, Paula, and friends want to say hi to my good buddy Joe Fleming and Mike Heath. Bud and it's like Cody in St. Louis. They're having a great time here, guys.
Patty and Grady, Ambule, and Joe Ellen, along with Nelson Wernsing, say hi to all their family and friends back in Bunker Hill in Edwardsville, Illinois.
Seen Suzuki bounce a lot of balls. Seen some swings that guys have missed off him. Looks like he's throwing a pretty good split finger pitch.
Little tapper left side. Randa in front of Perez on the run, makes the play.
Guys in the truck are trying to send some kind of message.
Get this game over. They're a bit thirsty, Al. It's a warm night here in Kansas City. Give them a little breathing room, a little leeway. It's okay.
That's their favorite shot tonight.
And every night. Hey, by the way, at the end of my note here from Patty and Grady, we hope Don Dinkinger isn't umping tonight. He is not. I'm sure our home plate umpire, Darryl Cousins, wishes he was. Darryl's been beat up tonight behind the plate. You know, the thing about the Dinkinger call was that in setting up that play, Al, it was a pass ball when Worrell was crossed up with Darrell Porter. He would later say, because he was a young player, Porter actually went to his helmet and adjusted his mask and thought they were adjusting signs. And he was a young player and was a little nervous about bringing out Porter to make sure that they were on the same page. That was number 2 in that inning. The first one that stands out was the ball that fell by the dugout near that Kansas City Royals dugout that Jack Clark should have had.
And sometimes what you do is you have a man on second, and if you want to change things around, you know, maybe you start it out, you say it's going to be the first sign or the second sign. Sometimes you'll sit there and you go to your helmet to be the first sign, to your chest protector to be the third sign. You need, or the second sign, you need third.
Marerro's going to beat this out. He's safe. Second infield hit on the night for Eli.
That's just a American League pitcher not knowing the speed of Eli Marerro. Takes a little bit too much time. Didn't hustle down there.
One extra hop he let happen.
And we're going to have a new umpire for the home plate. What they did is they went out and got Andy Flesher, the second base umpire. He went in and changed gear, and now because of that hand injury, been bothering Darryl Cousins.
Our sarcastic crowd applauding the exit and Mr. Cousins.
And he's going into there. You see that one of the assistant trainer, the Royals will go down and give him a little medical attention. Probably an X-ray will be the first thing. So I believe this is Andy Fletcher. So now for the rest of the game, yeah, Andy Fletcher right behind the plate, and we'll be dealing with a 3-man crew.
That'll bring in Vigna on board 3 times. 2 base hits, a walk, picked off back in the first. A run scored on the home run by Albert Pujols in the 4th inning. I guess Todd Worrell would love to redo that and call out Darrell Porter for 30 seconds and get the sign straight.
Yeah, but if you look back, there was the pass ball, the cross up, you know, there's the missed pop up in front of the Royals dugout.
Then Dane Orge on a fastball, hits it off the end of the bat and falls right in front of Andy Van Slyke with that cannon in right.
Good play at the plate.
Yep.
And they still had, with all that, they still had a game 7 to change the events. They just made it 3-3. That didn't end the series.
Walking Andujar was lit up, but Saberhagen was outstanding. And Tudor started the game.
So, you know, you had exactly what you wanted. I knew that they were in trouble when I heard John Tudor's pregame comments, which were, "This is not fair. I've had a great season, and the only thing people are going to remember is what happens in Game 7.
I remember what happened
after. I said, uh-oh.
Yeah. Put his hand in a fan. Remember that?
Yes, the revolving fan.
Right. Not a spectator.
Not a Mike Tyson.
No. Cardinals had a great chance in '87 with that team. Tony La Russa's had some good teams, but I think you would agree that this is their best chance since probably '87. With the kind of club that Tony has assembled, if everything goes well and they win the division and stay healthy, they have a very good chance because of their closer. Isringhausen is the great equalizer down there in the bullpen.
Well, it's pitching. The depth on the pitching staff and with the closer and setup men, as you're exactly right.
To make a case that the Cardinals have the best bullpen in the National League and one of the best in the majors.
The third baseman is Polanco.
Eli Marerro with that great speed doing some things for Tony La Russa.
It was 0 for 6 before he drops down this bunt. Absolutely perfect. And now a swinging bunt. But Suzuki took a little too much time. Didn't pounce on that ball quicker, and that speed has produced 2 hits.
Polanco has an RBI tonight. When he brought in Eli Marerro with a base hit, Tony La Russa in the same situation, remember, started the runners. He had Marerro at second, Vigna at first. They play behind Fernando. Double play depth up the middle. And Polanco found a hole left side for an RBI, number 14, and time is called. Part of that 4-run 4th inning for St. Louis. They played at 3 in the second on Cairo's 3-run home run, his first of the season. 2 on, 1 out. And a 7-2 St. Louis lead. Max Suzuki came in with 2 on and 1 out in the 4th. Pujols took him deep down the left field line. Jeremy Offelt went 3 1/3, the left-hander for Kansas City that made the start tonight. Left fielders playing deep. That's McDonald for Polanco. There's a double play ball. Perez, Alicea on to first. There's a double play. Suzuki and the Royals get out of the inning. And Placido on the night is 1 for 4. 7-2 St. Louis. This portion of Cardinal baseball on WB11 is brought to you by Jack in the Box, where we don't make it till you order it, and by Geico Direct, the sensible alternative. Bottom of 5 here at beautiful Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Top of the order, Matt Morris will face Donzel McDonald, the F.A. Perez, and Carlos Beltran, who's had a double and a triple against Morris tonight. Just 4 hits allowed, 2 by Beltran. And the first pitch is a strike on the outside corner. And as a pitcher, Al, you have to get a little bit used to a new strike zone with this home plate umpire.
Well, you just go out there and you fire your own pitches. And hopefully it'll be the same strike zone, but you're right. New umpire, new strike zone.
Get a little feel out there and have to make an adjustment possibly. 2 balls, or rather 1 ball and 2 strikes now on the leadoff man, who has doubled and scored on a misplay out left by Pujols. He's also walked 2 and 2, breaking ball in the dirt. Oh no, not this umpire.
Does he say McDonald claimed that that was a hit batsman? You see where that ball rested? Watch The last pitch. Watch where it goes. Right up here and lands right on his back.
Next pitch was a ball that's 3-2 on McDonald. Called up tonight. There's a ground ball. Martinez, the backhand, a foot race. Morris wins it. He got him. That's how you win 22 games. The little things, and Morris immediately with that ground ball was off to the races towards first. A New York cop discovers a mystical artifact that gives her extraordinary powers. Don't miss the all action of Witchblade 2 tomorrow at 6 on WB11.
Hey, there was your Denkinger play, but Jim Wolf gave it to the Cardinals.
He made the right call.
Now let's see. Little backhand. Matt was a little late in breaking. Speedy runner. Yeah, it's pretty close.
Perez into deep right field. Backing up is Drew.
That's 8 in a row set down by Matt Morris.
Speaking of Mr. Buck, we're talking about wishing him the best. He had, in retrospect, one of the funniest calls too on that play. He was working with Sparky Anderson at the time, and he says, Sparky,
yeah,
foot's on the bag, right? Right. He had the ball, right? Right. He's out, right? Well, that depends. Sparky Anderson said that. Depends on what, man?
Depends on.
Had the ball, foot's on the bag, he's out. That's baseball.
Depends on which of two choices the umpire makes.
Right. Pretty well hit the opposite way. Backing up, Albert Pujols near the track and has it on the track. 1-2-3 inning for Mr. Morris. 20-game winner last year. Cardinals in control 7-2. Ford dealer and check out the great deals on the Built Ford Tough F-Series trucks, now up to $2,500 cash back or 0.9% APR financing and a no-cost bed liner on F-Series for the official car and truck of the St. Louis Cardinals. You're watching the Cardinals on WB11 KPLR TV St. Louis and the Cardinals Television Network. It's 7-2 St. Louis. Max Suzuki, his third inning of work out of the bullpen for Tony Pena and the Royals. This will be J.D. Drew leads things off, 6th inning and a 7-2 Cardinal lead.
J.D.'s looking for his first hit of the night.
We wondered about Morris and having some time off, and he has responded here tonight. Just 4 hits allowed.
The only thing that Matt did not like about taking the extra day was that his next start will be a back-to-back starts against the Royals. But if he gets this win, he'll be that much happier about it.
We will see Kansas City on Friday night.
And also, Simon Tachi's been pitching very well, so you keep him on the 5 days rest. And a lot of the switch hitters in the Mariners lineup hit a lot less right-handed. So another reason why they pushed back Bud Smith to Monday in the Seattle series.
When's the last time that Bud has pitched? It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, he's been up here for what, about 8 days now, right? And we originally thought that he would make the start last night. So last appearance at the big league level is May 11th, but we're talking about the rotation he was on at Memphis. But remember, they're trying to get him a little bit of arm strength.
Full count on J.D. Drew, who rips it towards first. Nice play by Sweeney. He'll take it himself and gets the out. Almost a collision there with Suzuki and Drew and Mike Sweeney.
Oh,
He hesitated
it's in your
here.
glove, and then he flips it up. Pitcher coming over, then he decides to do it himself, and you forget about that running speed of J.D. and pretty careless of Suzuki, the pitcher, to run across the bag and keep from getting killed there. Little miscommunication, pitcher, first baseman, and then to see the pitcher running right in the path of J.D. Drew. Forgot about the runner coming up the line.
Albert Pujols was the first man that Suzuki faced back in the 4th inning. And Albert greeted him with a 3-run home run.
How many times have I told you, Dan, that when you come in for an injury, you usually should take about 1 or 2 more warm-up tosses. You don't come in a batter too soon.
I bet 9 times out of 10 when you have mentioned it, we've seen something that's not positive for the pitcher happen.
Well, it's the worst thing in the world. You're out there, everyone's impatient, everyone's saying, come on, let's go. You know, the game starts and you feel the pressure to say you're ready, but you usually need about 3 or 4 more pitches.
Here's Tino Martinez, 0 for 2 on the night with a walk and a run scored. Just joining us, Miguel Cairo, a 3-run home run. Pujols, a 3-run home run. Cardinals lead at 7-2. Martinez rips it sharply to Sweeney. This time he'll flip it to Suzuki. And a 1-2-3 inning for the right-hander from Kansas City. Cardinals up 7-2. Sold out here at Kauffman Stadium, and welcome back. This is our Sun Trip Automotive Family Trivia question. Who is the only player in Major League history to hit more than 50 home runs and strike out less than 50 times in a single season? Let's answer it right now. Johnny Mize, 51 home runs, 42 strikeouts back in 1947. We will not see that in the present day and age of baseball.
You know, Ted Williams, I don't think ever hit 50 home runs. But I'm positive he never struck out more than 50 times.
You're right. Sweeney grounds to second for out number 1. Well, between innings, everything was set perfectly for this staged event. They're going after the mascot of the Kansas City Royals, and they get a little help coming out here. This little guy will come out, help out his
little slugger.
Yeah, little slugger will help out Slugger eventually. And wait till you see what happens next. All right, the Cardinal guys, they go down, and then all of a sudden, whoa, oh! Serves them right, and they're losing 7-2, Al.
Slugger decapitated his own child. That is now 11 in a row set down by Matt Morris.
Last hit was the triple by Beltran.
Triple by Beltran, and then he started this run getting the RBI ground ball off the bat of Sweeney.
That kind of thing will make you feel 3 foot tall.
Get decapitated.
And that little slugger was. All of about 9 years old. Here's Michael Tucker, 1 for 2.
How old is that in Lions age?
Al, I haven't thought about it. Sounds like a trivia question. But maybe a future Schnucks This Day in Baseball history when the Mad Hungarian said this. Doug is notching that down right now in our truck. Tucker spent some time in Cincinnati.
He said Doug was tossing one down.
Obviously, the truck not the only one thinking about our good friends at Budweiser. 2-0 the count on Tucker. Had an infield hit against Morris in the first and grounded out to second. Back in the third.
Well, Matt looks like he's in that fun mode where get the ball, throw it, having fun out there. As soon as I say he's getting the ball and throwing it, look what happened. I don't know what Tucker did something, or he and DeFelice weren't getting together, but Matt needed to step off and take a breather.
Breaking ball and a strike, a good one to Tucker. We saw Matt screaming at Brady Clark when he would step away out of the box, and he's a good pinch hitter for Cincinnati, and Tucker hadn't been doing that. Tucker's been in the box for the better part of this at bat.
I had good timing on that one. I said,
yes, you did.
A few years back, Matt would have lost it. And almost on cue, he started screaming at the guy. And that wasn't one of Matt's good games.
2 balls, 2 strikes. On the DH tonight for Kansas City, Michael Tucker. Came in only hitting .210 on the year.
Yeah, that's surprising.
And a swing and a miss and a strikeout for Matt Morris, number 5 on the night. And he is set down 12 straight. Way to go. Oh! Whoops. 7-2 Cardinals. Congratulations to Lou Ranzio, today's merchandise prize winner in the Hyundai long drive inning sweepstakes. If the Cardinals hit a home run here in the 7th, Lou Ranzio will qualify for the grand prize drawing for a Hyundai Santa Fe at the end of the season. To register, visit a St. Louis area Hyundai dealer to complete an entry form. And Tony Pena, one positive tonight. He's gotten some good work out of Max Suzuki, who took over in the 4th inning. It's now the top of the 7th and a 7-2 Cardinals lead. Here's Renteria. Cincinnati is won today at Anaheim, so Cardinals, as we speak, a game and a half out. Edgar, one of 2 Redbirds without a hit tonight. The other J.D. Drew.
And we'll see if that one scored an error. Third baseman is changed for a hit tomorrow.
Edgar goes the opposite way. He won't have to worry about it. He has a base hit here tonight. We're talking about the standing. It's brought to you by Dodge. A look at the National League Central Division. The Cardinals a game and a half out as we speak. Pirates are 7 out. Astros lost today. They're 9 back at 26-34. Cubs are 11 out. And the Brewers 13. Who would have thought the Cubs and Astros would be playing as poorly as they are to start this season? And they have not turned things around at all. Here's Miguel Cairo, a 3-run home run as the DH tonight, back in the 2nd inning. Cairo will bunt. Renteria to second. With a 5-run lead, they move up Renteria into scoring position. The little things for Tony La Russa. It brings in DeFelice. Gotta like this kind of stuff, Al.
Well, that's right. I mean, it's in this age of a lot of offense. You know, you're still trying to scratch out more runs. When is there enough? Let's take a look at Renteria. Playing with Neffy a little bit there, but then the throw came behind and got to pay attention.
There's Mike DeFelice.
Another wild pitch.
Gets away from the catcher, Brent Maine. So a good opportunity here for DeFelice to add to this 7-2 lead. He has a base hit tonight. He's left the bases loaded back in the 3rd.
You know, at Suzuki, if you were to ask him who was the toughest guy to throw to today, he might say Brent Maine.
You're right. Maine has had a tough day behind the plate.
See, look at that upper body. Just, you know, is going sideways, and so he gets there and he puts the glove down, slides it down there, and you know, but he doesn't come over the top with his upper body to keep the ball from getting side to side.
Infield is in with just 1 out, no balls and 2 strikes. You see that DeFelice has had success with a man at 3rd and less than 2 outs. He's brought him in twice in 2 opportunities. Mike has 5 RBIs on the season. Homered in the opener of this year. And a surprise start for Tony La Russa against the Rockies. DeFelice, a check swing, did not go. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's been a tough night behind the plate for the catcher and the umpires here this evening at Kauffman Stadium. Our original umpire, Darryl Cousins, had to leave the game after being hit on the hand. Was taken for x-rays. One and 2 as DeFelice lost his bat. Will come your way tomorrow here on WB11. Simon Tachi, one of the great stories in Major League Baseball. 4-0, a 2.48 ERA will make the start for St. Louis. We'll come your way at 1 o'clock here along the Cardinals television network. There's Jason Simon Tachi.
Originally drafted by the Royals, and they have a young guy that's a Rule 5 draftee that's pitching for them, a young kid who in his major league debut threw 16 consecutive balls.
I saw that game. DeFelice. That should be deep enough. Berger over near the line. Fields it. Renteria safe at the plate. 8-2 St. Louis. RBI for Mike on the sac fly. Number 6 on the season for him, and it's a 6-run St. Louis lead.
Well, we failed to mention earlier that Renteria, this is the 2nd run he scores on the sacrifice fly, so another good offense. You see, you look at Renteria going in there, you don't want to slide like that after seeing Edmonds get hurt. But that is now his 501st run that Renteria scored.
There's Eli Marerro. That's popped up down that right field line. Long way to go for Berger, and he makes the play in foul ground. The Cardinals are done here at the top of the 7th. They make it a 6-run lead. Renteria now with 500 runs scored. Ford Windstar comes with 4 doors and $3,000 cash back or 0.9% APR financing. Windstar's quadruple 5 stars. Safety rating comes at no extra cost. Ford, the official car and truck of the St. Louis Cardinals. Sold out here at Kauffman Stadium. Interleague play between the Cards and the Royals. Glad you're with us. 12 straight sent down by Matt Morris. The last hit against him back in the 3rd. That was a triple by Carlos Beltran. He has been dominant after a shaky start. Allowed only 4 hits. He has struck out 5 on the night. Tony La Russa fielded that ground ball and handed it to a young fan here at Kauffman Stadium.
He pointed to his hat saying, "You got the wrong color hat."
That's right. Good point. Hey, where's Brad? Action photo night is coming up. It's AMC Theaters Player Action Photo Night. All fans 15 and under with a paid admission will receive an action photo featuring Gold Glover Jim Edmonds. Anaheim is in town June 18th. Action photo night brought to you by AMC Theaters. If you don't know how to use that camera, Brad will be more than happy to help out. Fans are having some fun here at Kauffman Stadium. It's been very lively this weekend. And probably tomorrow we'll see the smallest of this 3-day series as far as crowds are concerned. But sold out here tonight. They pre-sold 37,000 tickets. And originally, as the schedule was made out, Al, the Royals did not have the Cardinals on the first version of their schedule. And they changed that very quickly. This is a huge draw, as you might imagine.
Now let's see. First little twist that we've had, we're trying to, as you go outside of the divisions and outside of the geographical rivalries, Cardinals play the American League West, but they have maintained some of the division rivals. Cubs and White Sox, Oakland and the Giants, Yankees and Mets, Texas and Houston. Kept all those rivalries going, the Reds and Indians, but then also playing outside the, to the other divisions.
Morris is a little unhappy with Alicea. He called time and then stepped back in. Morris was set to go. He stepped out of the box. Little mind games trying to break up this string of 13 straight sent down by Matt Morris. Breaking ball popped up and behind home plate.
Well, that's it. Matt has gotten real comfortable, and so the last couple innings they've been trying to slow him down because he's in a groove and firing strikes and getting them out.
Look at the standings today as that's a great play by Renteria. Spins and throws, and he got him. What a play by Edgar Renteria. 14 straight.
And he's got the most RBIs of any National League shortstop, and he has the best fielding percentage of all National League shortstops. And here's another dandy. The ball was hit hard, going up the middle, and he takes a hit away from Aliseo.
Looking at the standings today, Al, the non-contracted Minnesota Twins have the biggest lead right now in baseball. They're 35-26 and a 5-game lead over Chicago, 5.5 over Cleveland.
That's good races now, and
that's pretty well hit into center. Coming on is Marerro. He has it. 15 straight set down by Morris. The last hit for Kansas City was back in the third. It's 8-2. This portion of Cardinal baseball on WB11 is brought to you by your local St. Louis area Kia dealers. It's about time everyone had a well-made car. By Auto Tire. For the very best in tires and service, you ought to go to Auto Tire. And by the President Casino, now electrifying the Landing. Beautiful night for baseball. Max Suzuki stays in this game for Kansas City. Came in with 2 on, 1 out back in the fourth. We're talking right before the break about the biggest surprise maybe in baseball, and I guess you can't really say it's a surprise anymore. The Minnesota Twins, very good young team. They lead their division by 5 games, and everything holds true. They'll hold on and win that division. Very good young team, but a lot of their players, Al, are up for salary arbitration after the season, and that's going to maybe do their run in.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. You know, every now and then you're going to get one of those small market teams that they draft right and they develop the players, but once they reach arbitration eligible or free agency, they can't, you know, retain them.
McCabe is one of their players that's up. I know that.
So then they be bad for another 10, 15 years, and then they start building it back up.
Torrey Hunter, another player. Here's Vania. He's had a productive night in that leadoff spot. He's been on base 4 times. Twice he has walked. He also has 2 singles. Hey, we want to say hello, by the way, to the Manchester Cougars checking in Cape Girardeau. Softball team from St. Louis watching tonight in Cape Girardeau. The Manchester Cougars. Hello to all them. They love Cardinal baseball.
5-year-old Joshua Beal would like to say hi to all of his family and buddies back in St. Louis. He said took the family car, drove here, didn't have any problems. Real convenient, just straight down Highway 70. Saw the ballpark turn left.
Here's a 2-2. Vina. Little tapper to the first baseman. Foul ball is Sweeney. Fielded cleanly, and it was just foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Vina, Polanco, and Drew for the Cardinals here in the top of the 8th. They lead it 8-2.
Double figures again and hits.
17 last night, 10 here tonight. They had 5 doubles last night, including a home run. And 3 of the 5 by Mr. Pujols, who has a home run tonight.
2 of those favorite American League home runs. 3-run home runs.
Yeah.
Earl Williams was the biggest, or Earl Weaver was the biggest fan of 3-run home runs.
Even though all the offense has been fun to watch, last night I was sick of seeing the DH. Just takes the strategy out of the game, it seems like. Good play by Randa. Gets up. He got him. What a play by the third baseman, Joe Randa. If you'd like to win Cardinals tickets and participate in the Southwest Airlines Family of the Game promotion during Cardinals home game, here's your chance. Send your name, address, and phone number to Southwest Airlines Family of the Game, P.O. Box 771192, St. Louis, Missouri 63177. Good luck from the Cardinals and Southwest Airlines. Good play by Joe Randa, third baseman to his left, to take a hit away from Vina. Could have been the 5th time he would have been aboard here tonight.
Randa, one of the better gloves at third in the American League.
Here's Polanco. He has an RBI and a run scored tonight to go along with a base hit. You're like me, Al. I know that you prefer the National League style of baseball over the DH.
Absolutely. You know, it's I think the DH came in vogue as an attendance gimmick and a way to extend the careers of several aging sluggers.
Players Union loves it.
Well, but only because DHs are some of the higher priced players, but it wasn't fun to see Tony Oliva or somebody drag a leg around.
Perez can't make the play. Polanco beats it out for his second hit tonight. That's number 11 in the hit department for St. Louis.
You know, and take a look at Polanco, as we've had numerous infield hits in this game. A couple long balls, but a lot of these type. Just good hustling plays. Don't jump for that bag. That's how you can injure yourself.
Tony Pena may go to the left-hander here with J.D. Drew coming up, and Tino Martinez due up 2 from J.D.
You run through the bag. Don't jump for it, and then if you're a little bit short, you see how his toe hit the front of the bag, and lucky he kept his balance. Didn't trip or sprain an ankle. So Suzuki kind of maintained some order in this game, and they'll go to their left-hander. Schaus.
We saw him last night. Brian Schaus will come in with Drew coming to the plate. 1 out here in the 8th. A man on. It's 8-2. We saw Brian Schaus last night in the win for St. Louis. He came out of the bullpen for the Kansas City Royals, through a third of an inning, gave up 2 hits, and he has allowed just 1 hit prior to that in his last 8 outings, a span of 4 1/3 innings. So Schaus, the left-hander, will come in for the 22nd time this season. He's a sidewinder from that left side, so he can be very, very tough on guys like J.D. Drew, Tino Martinez, and now
he struck out Drew last night, and I think with a big lead, an 8-2 lead, you give Perez another at bat, so he will bat for J.D. Drew, or auto tire pinch hitter. And then like last night, it was the same part of the order. Pujols did a double, and then Martinez a single off him, and he was out.
Drew is the only Cardinal that had not scored or driven in a run here tonight, so Drew is done. And our auto tire pinch hitter is Eduardo Perez, who is hitting just 132. Got a start last night as the DH, went 1 for 3.
Tony said, you don't get a hit before at bats, I'm taking you out of this game.
And that's it.
That's it. That walk wasn't good enough. You're 0 for 3 tonight, so you're out of here. Perez is hit.
Perez is a pinch hitter, 1 for 19. And that 1 hit, a home run.
Game winner. But I think you're seeing that Eduardo is trying to a little more playing time. He's given himself much better at bats, and he had a little technical flaw in his swing. He's tried to correct.
A ball and 2 strikes. He's in the hole. That's way outside.
And Perez has gone 3 for 10 with 4 RBIs in his last 3 starts. 2 of his 3 home runs have come against left-handed pitchers.
Here's a 2-2. They play behind the runner. That's hit left side. That might be 2. Aranda can only get the lead man. Polanco at second. That's the second out. Perez will stand at first with 2 down. Now to bring in Albert Pujols. He's had another huge night for the Cardinals. 2 for 3. A run scored and a 3-run home run, now with 40 RBIs. That's tops on the team, and 13 home runs.
So is the home runs.
Right.
Last night he passed Edmonds for the RBI leadership, and the home run today passes Jimmy too.
And he's hitting .293. Looks at his strike. We've talked about it. The Kansas City native Albert Pujols moved here when he was 16. Met his wife in '98. Talks about that being the inspiration in his life, and it changed his life, along with his 2 young children, Isabella and AJ Albert. Isabella has Down syndrome, and Albert has become a spokesperson for the cause. And a quiet leader on this team.
Albert has got 2 home runs, 8 RBIs on this road trip, and raised his batting average almost 15 points.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. 40,016 in attendance here tonight. Largest non-opening day crowd since 1993 for the Kansas City Royals, so that's good news. Pujols is aboard for the third time tonight. Pitched around him to get to Tino Martinez, and the lefty-lefty matchup at first base open. Well, no, he did not, because he had Perez there. So Perez moves up to second, but basically still, though, pitched around Pujols.
And yes, you get to the left-hander, but last night Tino got a single off of him. Tino needs to get a base hit to extend his hitting streak to 5 games.
He has walked and scored here tonight. Check swing, called strike. Lined out to right, struck out, and also grounded out.
Drew lost his 3-game hitting streak, but Polanco extended his, Vigna extended his, Pujols, Renteria have all extended.
2 on, 2 out, 1 ball, 1 strike on Tino Martinez. Homered here last night. Also a season high 4 hits. Only hitting .143 against left-handed pitching. That's popped up and out of play.
It was one of the things that Tony Russa and I talked about, and I said, who's going to be your hitting star? He said, well, I hope it's Albert. But he was worried about them pitching around Pujols because of Martinez, what his average was against the left-handed, and they started with a left-hander.
Strikeout of Tino, leaves a couple of on. Cardinals have left 9 on the night, but they're in control. They lead it 8-2.
Welcome back. Here is see Matt Morris has retired 15 in a row to take command of this ball game. Cardinals have had their hitting shoes on again as they banged out 11 hits, a pair of 3-run home runs off the bat of Cairo and Pujols have helped support Morris. His last hit was a triple to Beltran back in the 3rd inning. Perez stays in the game, play right field.
So 15 straight set down by Morris. A chance for victory number 8 here tonight. He's well on his way. Cardinals lead it by the score of 8-2. Here's Donzel McDonald, just called up today.
He led off the game with a double over the head of Pujols and scored a run.
That's strikeout number 7.
That was a different pitcher than what we've seen in the last 16 batters. He's had his good fastball, he's changed speeds, and there's that dominant curveball.
Morris came into tonight's play with 77 strikeouts, add 7 to that, so he's at 84 on the season. His ERA in night games was 1.54. He has been dominant since that triple back in the 3rd. The walks have been down, and that was a problem for Matt his last 2 games when he allowed 9. Here tonight he has hit a man, that was Randa. He also has a walk in the 2nd inning, but that's it. Guy on deck has done a lot of damage against Matt Morris, and there's Tino Martinez. 17 straight set down.
And the last hit was off of Beltran's bat. He's coming up to bat right now. And then in the 1st inning, he hit a double with McDonald on 3rd base for an RBI. And then Sweeney drove in Beltran after he hit that triple in the 3rd inning. But Matt has been in cruise control.
Beltran trying to break up the rhythm, but Matt Morris calls time. 4-hitter in 7 2/3 innings for Matt Morris. This is pitch number 97. This will be pitch number 98 now. Catches the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's got a lot of movement on that pitch, tailing to the left-handed hitters here tonight.
He's been throwing his changeup. He's got the breaking ball going. He's changed speeds on his curveball. He's got the, that was a little sharper one.
That's a strike, 2-2. 2 outs, nobody on.
Got that lollipop get ahead breaking ball, then he got a put away breaking ball.
What's he come with here? The 2-2
ball.
Full count. Take us through it here, Al.
Breaking ball.
And there's your strikeout. That is number 8 for Matt Morris. And folks, that's 18 straight he has set down. He's allowed 4 hits on the night. He'll try for the complete game as we head to the 9th. It's 8-2 St. Louis. Top of the 9th here in Kansas City. The Cardinals behind 11 hits, lead it 8-2. And for Tony La Russa, it's been a little bit of everything. We'll start with small ball, Al.
Obviously in the 3rd inning here. The ball there right over the bag. That was Renteria, got an infield single. In the 4th, Marerro drops down the front. That's his first hit. Here you see Vina bounces it back here. The pitcher got a piece of it. Another infield hit. 5th inning, Marerro once again a swinging bunt. Suzuki kind of laid back. He beats it out. 8th inning, here's Polanco right up the middle right there. They couldn't get it unload. And you know, we've been able to play the small ball, but it's also been the long ball in this game, and we'll show you that too.
Corey Bailey is a new pitcher, the right-hander for Kansas City. He has won 3 straight games, with all 3 coming in his last 6 appearances. All 3 came against the Rangers. Became the first pitcher in Royals history to win both games of a doubleheader, with 2 wins against Texas in late May. It was May 26th to be exact, and the first major league pitcher to win both ends of a doubleheader since David Wells did it for Toronto against California back in 1989. Some exclusive company for Corey Bailey, appearing for the 27th time tonight.
Well, you see that, but you know, I kind of laugh at that thing when you're talking about a relief pitcher doing it. How about Wilbur Wood doing it both ends as a starter?
You're right.
When
That's amazing.
Both ends of a doubleheader as a starter. And I saw a game where Tom Seaver one day won 2 games one night. As you see, Renteria with another base hit. He's got that. We showed you the small ball. Let's talk about long ball. The Cardinals jump out here. Thank you to a 3-run home run off the bat of Miguel Cairo, the DH today. And then Albert Pujols, he greets Suzuki. First batter that Suzuki faced, it was a 3-run home run by Pujols. But Tom Seaver, they had a suspended game when he was pitching for the White Sox and Tony La Russa. He was scheduled to start the game, but he pitched in the suspended game, got the win, and then started the second game and got the win.
That's an easy way to do it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe an ambidextrous pitcher would have a chance of doing something like that. This is our Auto Tire pinch hitter here in the 9th. 2 balls, no strikes on Gary Robinson, our Auto Tire pinch hitter. Corey Bailey has played in parts of 7 major league seasons. Spent some time in St. Louis back in '95. Also pitched for Boston, San Francisco, and now Kansas City. He's been around for a while.
Nice young man.
There's a walk to Kerry Robinson. First 2 aboard.
So Kerry's got his family, wife and 2 daughters with him here, and I saw his father outside the hotel this morning.
WB11 News is coming up after the final out here in Kansas City. Stay tuned. Most importantly, Karen Shipman has all the weather for Al.
Great weather.
What a night here in Kansas City for early June. A little warm this afternoon, but it's perfect here tonight. There's Mike DeFelice. We talked about the small ball, Al. About Miguel Cairo, 5-run lead, and he sacrifices Renteria over back in the 7th inning. Just the little things that they have done in this series. We also saw with Polanco at the plate, 1st and 2nd, Tony La Russa decides to start the runners. That pays off with a base hit by Polanco. Run scores.
I remember he had him bunting on the first pitch. Then he sent the runners. They were running on. Polanco swung away, got an RBI, base hit. DeFelice has a base hit and a sacrifice fly in this game.
His RBI back in the 7th. That scored Edgar. That's up the middle. That's a base hit. Renteria being waved home. Here comes the play at the plate. Got him at the plate.
Oh. And it wasn't a tag. It was a slide. And Renteria slid right into the tag.
Boy, he beat the throw, but slides into the tag.
Look at right here. And you see him try to, he senses.
Center fielder Eli Marerro.
Now, he's coming around here. Does he turn around and look? Yep, and that's the difference of why he's out or safe. But the catcher is just trying to catch the ball. And then you see there's no tag. And there was no tag there at all. Bad call by the home plate umpire.
Here's Eli Marerro. Let's take one more look.
Well, you watch Renteria. Now watch what he does with his hands as he sees the throw. And the umpire said that he tagged him on the arm, but there was no, the glove didn't tag any part of his body.
This might be our best angle here.
Am I correct? Look at the glove. He missed it. Well, the umpire's in better position, but I like the other one where we looked like there was clearly space between the.
Eli, well hit left field. Could this be their third 3-run homer? Yes, gone. Home run number 4 for Marerro. A 3-hit night. An infield bunt hit, a swinging bunt, and now the exclamation point, a 3-run home run. His 4th of the season, the Cardinals' 3rd home run on the night.
Wow. Look at there, and pitch is kind of on the inner half. It's up a little bit, just saying hit me, and the Cardinals are hitting 14 hits today. They scored 12 runs last night. They've got 11 runs on 14 hits. Last night it was 12 on 17 hits.
31 hits in these 2 games. And here's Pena.
Well, Marerro, we're talking about him pulling off some pitches, and here you can see he's not doing it now. The head is right down there at the point of contact, the arms extended, and the pitch belt high.
Pena slaps that foul. Boy, this has been some kind of fun for the Cardinal fans here in Kansas City. 31 hits the past 2 nights. An 11-2 St. Louis lead. You've got Matt Morris with 102 pitches thrown. A chance for a complete game here tonight. He has allowed 4 hits. That's it. The last hit for Kansas City coming in the 3rd inning. The Cardinals had lost 5 straight before last night here at Kauffman Stadium. As a matter of fact, Kansas City in interleague play has bested the Redbirds.
Be anxious to see how the club moves up the ladder in team batting average and runs scored. They were 5th coming into tonight in the National League in both average and runs scored.
Full count on Pena. He pulls it. Now the Seiya spins. Gloves. He's safe. That is hit number 15 tonight for the Redbirds. And Pena, what a night. This is the 5th time he has been on base, and that is his 3rd single of the evening.
And there it is. This took too much time, and these guys are running hard. They're smelling the hits, and they're taking advantage of them. Lost 5 straight games here. They remember the sweep last year, and this club is much more focused.
And you and I were saying last night during the telecast, the sweep here at Kansas City was in our minds, without a doubt, the low point of the season.
Absolutely. And you know, the goal is to win series, but Tony, also when you win the first two, get that killer instinct to finish it off.
Alisei will take it himself and gets a double play. So we'll head to the bottom of the ninth. Three-run home runs for the Cardinals tonight. Morris may be done. We'll find out when we come back. Duncan and Tony La Russa have seen enough from Matt Morris. Impressive here tonight. He sets down 18 straight. He had 8 strikeouts on the night, 102 pitches thrown, and he was nasty here tonight, Al.
Well, he had all of his pitches working. He got into that role where he retired 18 in a row, and with the big lead and a guy like Steck Schulte who hasn't pitched since last Sunday, you got to spread the wealth a little bit, and probably by taking that, you know, they don't worry about complete games anymore, so this is the right thing to do, is to go to your bullpen, bring in Steck Schulte, and see his numbers on the year, and you want to keep him as sharp as Matt Morris was tonight.
Steck Schulte will take over.
Well, Steck Schulte, he'll be coming into this ball game. This is he is 6-1, 3.91 ERA, his 22nd appearance of the year. Opponents only batting .216 against him.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the thing that to me stood out about Morris wasn't, well, we're going to show you some of the changes as Perez is now in right field and Robinson is in left, but one of the things that Tony and Dave Duncan will tell you is that just mechanically Matt Morris wasn't quite there, and when he got in that role of 18 straight, that looked like the guy that we saw go against Chicago with a 4-hitter in a complete game.
Yeah, and since that complete game, he had struggled. So
that makes sense to take him out. He's thrown an awful lot of innings.
Well, and a lot of pitches early in the year, and kind of took a little dead arm stage where he got into a little mechanical funk. So big lead, you know, 11-2. I think we can turn it over to a guy that's 6-1.
And at one point, Morris had thrown 120 plus pitches one game earlier this season.
Right, and you know, 102 pitches is not bad at all, especially when you get through 8 innings. And just in case, looks like we have Isringhausen warming up in case we need him, but it'll be a long time, and it'll be more like tomorrow.
That'll break the string of 18 straight. Well, we predicted this out at the beginning of the game. The good, Matt Morris, tonight's starter. The bad, the Kansas City Royals. How about the ugly? Well, the Kansas City Royals. Cards win next on WB11.
Tony will say that let's get 3 outs before you start saying that word, big guy.
I just do what my producer tells me.
Oh, he's the one that gets you in trouble.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, talking to the Royals, they said Cardinals got a good team, don't they?
Vigna, almost made the play. Let's hope he's okay. He's slow getting up, and he was
that was awkward the way he fell, and he dove and kind of went over his shoulder. And you're right, but isn't that the effort that you expect from Fernando Vigna when, you know, here in the 9th inning you got a 9-run lead, and yet he gives you this great all-star effort just off his fingertips, and then you see where he awkwardly rolled over, and it appears to be okay, but worry about the wrist.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, the way that he landed. Yep.
Knocked the wind out of you, a few other things, but okay, enough's enough here, Steck.
Gene would love a double play here. Nobody out. First and second. The pitch is a strike to Tucker.
But see, this is what happens too. You know, here we are 6 days since Steck Schulte's pitched, and it's just too long for a reliever to have his good command.
Ground ball backing up. Tino. The flip to Steck Schulte. 1 away. Runners move up to second and third. 1 out. It's 11-2 Cardinals. Morris is in line for the victory. 27-year-old right-hander, chance to win number 8 here tonight. With those 8 strikeouts, 85 Ks on the year for Matt Morse. You're watching the Cardinals on WB11 KPLR TV St. Louis as we approach 9 o'clock here in Kansas City. Here's Brandon Berger. Berger struck out a couple of times against Morse. One ball, one strike.
Berger, last year he had 40 home runs at Double-A, and he had 10 games where he had 2 home runs. Had a 2-run home run night last night.
Pretty well hit center field. Eli back has it. Run will score, and there's 2 outs. Boy, he gave that one a ride.
Remember, he almost hit a 3rd home run last night where he sent Eli all the way back to the center field wall.
Two outs. Here's Alicea. Cincinnati, by the way, has beaten Anaheim today, so the Cardinals with a win stay a game out. And it sets up the sweep tomorrow afternoon. Will come your way at 1 here on WB11.
I think the Cardinal fans that have come over for this weekend series have enjoyed it, haven't they?
Oh boy, all the hitting. 15 hits tonight.
A lot of Cardinal fans. Interesting, as you look at the stands now, you see a lot of red. It's just all red, and a lot of people, visitors, on their feet.
3-0 on Luis Alicea.
There you see the fans down in the left field corner on their feet. A lot of red. And the dark blue of the Cardinals, you know, road hats, you know,
or empty seats. Now Dave Duncan will trot out and talk it over with Steck Schulte. This is our Bud Light play of the game, and we take you back to the 3-run home run, the first of 3 of those on the night for St. Louis. Miguel Cairo, after the Cardinals trailed 1-0, they take the lead, and this would be their 20th come from behind win this season.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's leading the major leagues with 20 but come from behind wins. And you see it's all talking over. Cairo got it started with that 3-run home run as the DH.
Up by 8 runs here in the 9th, and Brent Mayne looks at a ball from Steck Schulte, who has not been sharp here in the 9th. Last outing was against Pittsburgh. He was not sharp then either. And it's 2-0. He only threw an inning against the Pirates, but Abraham Nunez had 3 RBIs on the day, and there's a line the last time out, 28 pitches in that 1 inning of work.
Tony anxious to end this game, and look at that. He's not happy with what he's seeing. Going to the bullpen phone, get somebody else up.
There's a ground ball. Vina looks it in his glove, throws. The Cardinals have taken the first 2 games of this series. Morris, the winner. He's a